Kristin. So for my next installment of 4 Looks 1 palette, I am going to go ahead and do the Vice 3 for you. I know there are other ones that I promised, but because this one is sort of a limited edition, I wanted to go ahead and spit it out, go ahead and get started. So that's what I'm doing this week for you guys. Let me get the brush out of here. For those of you that are new to 4 Looks 1 palette, I have well over 20 of them. I will link a playlist below for you. So if there's a palette you're wondering if I've done, I will list that below. What I do is for the next 4 days, I'm going to show you 4 different looks. And then at the end, I will give you swatches, talk about how I felt about the palette and that sort of thing. So what I decided to do, since this is, there's kind of, there are kind of 4 rows. I don't think they intended this to be, but kind of almost 4 color schemes here. I'm going to use each of these rows as a look. And then this last row here is really kind of nice blending, transition, highlight shades. And they are, except for this last one, DTF, has a little sparkle in it. These 3 are mattes, and I think this sparkle will probably blend out. So anyway, I used this row today here, and I used the gold color in Lucky, or the kind of coppery color in Lucky, all over my inner 2/3 of my lid. I combined Vanity and Rain, so that purple and that brown, I kind of combined those two on my outer corner. I took that purple beneath my lower lash line, and then just up under my brow bone, I used this Bobby Dazzle. So I will go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so here's a look. And on the rest of my face, for blush today, I have the, as I drop it, the Estee Lauder blush in Alluring Rose. And for liner today, upper waterline, I use the Hourglass Mechanical Gel pencil. And my upper lash line, I just have the Avon Super Shock in black. And on my lips today, I have MAC Spice Lip Liner. And then over the top of that, I have Camp Cosmetics Lip Lava in Sex Drive, which looks like that. Look 2, I went ahead and used the greens and then this kind of bronzy brown color here. Let me get that up there. So I have this shade, should take a look here. Let's see, I have Freeze, which is right here on the inner third. I have Heroin on the outer 2/3. I used Broke Down in the crease on a fluffier brush, like wasn't a 224, but on this sort of duo fiber crease brush from MAC, which is a 286. And then I actually took a combination of Dragon and Freeze underneath my lower lash line. First I put just the Dragon beneath there, and I didn't like it, didn't seem to tie in well enough, so I added the Freeze, and that kind of tied everything in a little bit better. And then I just used Truth, which isn't my favorite, but that's what's in the palette, as a brow bone highlight. It's pink, which is why it's not, there's a little pink to it. It's not crazy bad. Anyway, and then for liner, on my upper lash line, I used the Essence Gel Black Eyeliner, and upper waterline and lower waterline, I used the Hourglass Mechanical Gel Eyeliner. So I will zoom you in. Here's the look. Okay, for blush today, I used the In-Stain blush from the Balm, and this is, when I hauled this, I said Toil, but it's not. I think it's Toila. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's what I used. And on my lips today, I have the Maybelline Creamy Matte in Touch of Spice. Okay, for today's look, I obviously used this row right here, which is a very kind of rosy, burgundy sort of row. First of all, I did what I forgot to mention this the other days. I have taken Truth all over my lid, lash line to brow bone. And then I went in on the inner third and used Alien. On the outer 2/3, I used Sonic, which is just gorgeous. When I swatch that for you guys at the end, you're going to be like, what? I used, again, on a really fluffy brush, I washed this one up, because I'm crazy like that, and used my 286 again from MAC, and I went in with Alchemy, which is this shade right here in the crease. And then just to deepen things up, beneath my lower lash line, I used Bondage, which is this shade right here. And then I took just a little bit of that Sonic on the kind of inner third of my lower lash line. So let me zoom you in. Here's the look. So I changed things up a little bit today as far as liner. I just lined my upper waterline and my lower waterline. I didn't do anything on my upper lash line. Sometimes I do that and makes your lashes look a little bit longer because, well, because it does. So I used I've been using this quite a bit, the Hourglass Mechanical Gel Liner. That's what I used on my upper waterline, lower waterline. And then on my cheeks today, I used the Balm. I've been trying to play with these a little bit more. And this is the one in Houndstooth. So real kind of neutral pink blush. And then on my lips today, I used the NYX Butter Lipstick, excuse me, in Pops, which looks like that. Okay, look 4 is the last row here. So first, as always, I have taken the shade in Truth all over my lid from lash line to brow bone. And then I took a little of DTF on a fluffy brush in the crease. And then I took Last Sin, which is this shade right here. I put that on the inner, or on the middle third. And on the inner third and outer third, I used no, what is this? Yes, Angel. And then I took Defy in the crease, and I used kind of a relatively precise brush and just blended it out a little bit. So then I took Revolver on beneath my lower lash line, and I added just a little bit of Angel as well beneath my lower lash line. Then I used a wet liner brush, and I took that shade again in Revolver. I don't know what I just called it, but it's Revolver. I feel like I called it Revolt. Anyway, Revolver, and I lined my upper waterline with that. And I've talked about this before, wetting a liner brush. What I do if I'm not positive if this eyeshadow is meant to be wet or not, I do it right in the inner corner there, just so that I don't ruin the whole shade. And I think that is everything. So I will go ahead and zoom you in. So here's the look. On the rest of my eyes, the only other thing I think I didn't talk about is the same Hourglass Mechanical Gel Liner I've been using, upper waterline, lower waterline. For blush today, I used the Maybelline Master Highlight in Mauve. And then on my lips today, I have Rosewood from Burberry. Let's talk about the palette a little bit. So I know that you guys have everybody has seen this all over the place, but it comes in this sort of fabric-y, I don't even know how to describe what fabric it's in, but bag, which is a nice bag. It is, you know, it's just very thin, obviously. So you could put a few things in here. What might travel well in here is maybe makeup brushes, that sort of thing. But it's a nice bag, and it protects the palette. The palette, I don't have any of the other Vice palettes, but from what I've heard, it's a little bit thinner than Vice 2, and I don't remember the original Vice. I feel like the original Vice was much, much thicker. It does also come with a double-ended brush, which I didn't even take out of the plastic. I just never really liked the brushes that come with the Urban Decay palettes. I don't know why. They're always very stiff to me. I know they're synthetic, but I mean, can you see this? I don't know how I'm going to blend anything with that. This one is not quite as stiff. This one maybe could be used for kind of lower lash line or something, but so it does come with this double-ended brush. So there are 3 true mattes in this. And that's Truth, Downfall, make sure I'm pointing to the right one there because they're upside down. And then the other one actually is Defy, right here. Now, DTF and Undone, so these 2 right here, they come off as matte, but there's a little bit of sparkle in there. Let me see if I can get you to see the sparkle in there. I'm not sure if that's coming through or not. But, so, just as an FYI, I'm going to go ahead and swatch all the shades for you. So this is DTF, Downfall, Undone, and Truth. I'm not sure how these will look on my hand. So that's DTF, Downfall, Undone, and Truth. Undone is very similar to my skin tone, so that's not a swatch issue with it. It's close to my skin tone. This is Broke Down, Heroine, Freeze, and Dragon. Broke Down, Heroine, Freeze, and Dragon. I wish Dragon had a little more pigment to it. Heroine is a nice navy, and it actually blends out fairly well. And actually, I should add that to the list of, it kind of has a little sparkle to it, but it pulls more matte. I should have said that early on. I went backwards in the row on this time. This is Vanity, Lucky, Rain, and Bobby Dazzle. So Vanity, Lucky, Rain, and Bobby Dazzle. Sonic, Bondage, Alchemy, and Alien. Sonic, look at that. That was the one earlier I said we're gonna appreciate that when I swatch it. Bondage, which is a really nice, in the pan it looks very burgundy, but it comes off as this deep brown with a little bit of burgundy. It's really, really pretty. Alchemy, which is this one, and then Alien. So Last Sin, Angel, Defy, and Revolver. Last Sin, Angel, which was a bit of a disappointment to me actually. Defy and Revolver. And I say Angel was a disappointment to me is that it looks a tad darker than Last Sin, but in the pan it looks a good bit darker. So that was a little bit of not a fail, but just a disappointment to me. So this does, I've not taken the plastic off of it, but it does have a really nice mirror. Like this would be really nice if you're traveling with this to have a mirror to put on your makeup. I like that. I like that. I would travel with this. I would travel with this. I am surprised at how much I liked this and enjoyed using it. It was a challenge for me to kind of do it the way I set it up with those different rows and really use a lot of those colors. I ended up using every single shadow in here except for Downfall, which is one of the kind of blending shades right here. The very first day I used Undone, and I think I neglected to mention that. So I used all of the shades in here, and really, I didn't have any issues blending any of them, even kind of the more matte ones. And again, I apologize, Heroin is one of the mattes in this palette. And that is this right here. I just neglected to mention that. It's definitely one of those ones that has just a little bit of sparkle in it. That one blends really well. I have learned actually fairly recently from a friend of mine that blue pigment is one of the hardest colors to get to blend because it's the heaviest of pigments. So I now understand why it's hard to get a really good blue color. But at any rate, I enjoyed using this palette. It was a fun week of a 4 Looks 1 palette. If you are interested in this, especially with the VIB sale and the Ulta 20% sales going on right now, and or the VIB sales coming up or whatever. There's a lot of 20% sales going on right now. So it might be a good time to go ahead and grab this if it's something that you're interested in. It sells for $60, and I have seen it on Urban Decay's website. I've seen it on Ulta's, Sephora. I think that's maybe the only places I have seen it, but I'm sure that it is any other like department stores that carry Urban Decay. We don't have any around here that do, but I'm certain you can find it just about anywhere. It's kind of the one thing about the Urban Decay palettes that come out this time of year is it's not crazed like the Lorac Mega Pro. Like there's plenty of stock available if you want to get one of these palettes. So I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. As always, I will go ahead and tell you what was on the rest of my face throughout the video. I try to keep it all to be the same. So I'm sure it's no shock to you that it was the Guerlain BB Booster. It was really squirting at me this morning, so I'm about to cut this open and get the last little bit out of that. And again, the Smashbox Halo Powder, this is feeling really light, so that's gonna be almost gone. I talked about the liner that I used pretty much the whole week. For bronzer, I've been using the Too Faced Endless Summer Bronzer. For contour, I have this in a Tarte thing, but let me pull it out. This is the Cosmetics in Monogamy. I've been using that for quite some time, just for contour. For mascara, I always get asked this one. I have been using and really liking the YSL Baby Doll. This is a really dry formula though, so if you don't like dry formulas, you might not like this, but I have to tell you, I've been impressed with that. So I think that is everything. I will do the Lorac Mega Pro for you guys. I will do that one next, and I'll try to do it, within the next 3-4 weeks, something like that, because I've had a lot of requests for that. And then after that, I will do one of the Coastal Scents. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.